Hello, welcome to YouTube channel. It's been a very long time since I've been on here. Honestly, it's been ages, and I think there's quite a few things that's contributed to that. Work has gotten significantly more busy, like a ton more busy. So it's very hard for me to focus on anything more than the people that are currently in my life, and then work and going to the gym. Honestly, I barely have time to do anything else right now, and it's an interesting position to be, really. But it is what it is. We're currently working on that. So. With the increase in work, I am trying to balance things a bit more, and I just wanted to come back on YouTube because I've been watching, Big Dev, Bryce, and Nonso, and honestly, I've enjoyed watching the content. So I thought, let me come back on social media. Let me come back on YouTube at least. Let me come back on YouTube, just talk a bit and talk about what I've been going through the last few months. So one of probably the biggest things that's happened to me was obviously Malta, which was a few years ago. Had a massive injury, and I've been on this long rehab back and finding myself again, with my powerlifting training and strength training in general. So I've sort of got to a good position where I did nationals, but I didn't perform how I wanted, to be honest with you, and I just needed to take a bit of time back, and just spend some time really focusing on myself. So I'm sort of doing my own coaching a little bit while working with my coach in the background, but mostly doing it by myself. Straight back social media quite a lot, not really posting much, and that was mostly because I was starting to feel like I couldn't see the reason why I was doing powerlifting. And I always consider myself a purist. I always consider myself, I do this for the love of the training. Whether it was IPF Worlds, whether I was coming 10th, whether I was coming 1st, whether I was coming 25th, whether or not I was progressing, I enjoy training, and I'd always train irrespective of what's going on. And then with obviously the work increase, I now needed to sacrifice a bit more of my time elsewhere with people that are important to me, in order to actually keep on training. And when you do something like that, you sort of don't want to feel like you're not sacrificing without purpose, And I needed to strip everything back and bring it back into me to figure out why I was really doing this, what I wanted to get out of the sport, and was I truly doing this because I just enjoy it. And I think I found the answer with obviously taking time back, stripping back training, enjoying training for myself, coaching myself a bit on the side too now. I think that's been really fun, and it sort of reignited a flame that I knew was there, but I just needed to reconfirm it was still burning brightly. So enjoying training so far. Training's going good. I wouldn't talk about my previous block because obviously I want to keep that period for myself. I'm still sharing those numbers with my coach and the person who's worked with me for the last few years, but I was just showing him the process as to what I've done and how I did it, and hopefully I actually share that with you guys too. I wouldn't consider myself a coach, or I'm not as versed in the languages, and I'll try and use some terms here and there, but really, I think I figured out how to train for myself during that period because it was mostly what I was responding to, which I thought was very valuable information, and then I could share that program with you guys. It might not make any sense, but to be honest with you, it was fun for me to do it. I learned what I can't do and what I can definitely do, so that was good. But now we're in the peaking block for training, and I thought, I'm going to share the process for this because there are no numbers to gatekeep because nothing's going to be seriously heavy. So this week I had a 277.5 kilo squat, which some people might look and go, that's really light for your week one, but honestly that's heavy for me, and that's one thing I've learned, and I can peak from this position. So 277.5 squat. On bench we had 175 kilos for week one, and then for week two we had 195 kilos, which moved really good. Both singles were great. And then for deadlifts we had a 290 kilos starting point, so two singles for one. I'll show both singles because the first single wasn't good at all, to be honest with you. I think I'm carrying a decent amount of fatigue from my last block, definitely. And I think I was just letting that play with my head mentally, and I was being a bit lazy with the session, so I didn't execute on the first single. So I just chose to turn that into a 2x1 and take the 290 again for another single, and that moved like it should move, honestly. It's still slow for somebody who pulls 370, 380, but I think my week ones are just going to be like that now, and I think rather than me trying to force that week one to be heavier, which I think I might need to do because I need that intensity earlier on if I want to end up in a later, like a heavier stage later on in week four. But this is good enough for me right now, and hopefully I can leverage week two and week three and really build that momentum leading into competition. But if there's one thing I want to highlight really from this YouTube video, it's It was really good for me to take that time to strip back everything and really focus on the training again for myself, and even taking the control on the program and everything for me. Everything was done for me in this situation, and I thought that was really fun. That really rekindled the flame. It made things more interesting. You see the impact of what overshooting does because you're the one who's written the program, so you can definitely see what you've done wrong and the consequences of doing that. And you also learn because you're writing a program that your body is responding to in real time, so you can sort of learn a lot yourself, which was really, really good for me. So overall, I'm very happy with the work we did in the previous block, which induced a ton of fatigue. But again, we've got a decent starting point for the peaking block, and I'm going to share with you week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Week 4 will be my competition week, which will be in Germany. But hopefully we're able to execute on the day. Hopefully we're able to have an amazing performance and bring a better package than I brought to nationals and I ever brought to the international platform, to be honest with you. So I'm very excited for where everything is at right now. The talent pool is insane. Honestly, like, one thing that's always shocked me is the quality of the juniors now in the 120s. It's probably the one class I thought it would be the hardest for junior to shine in, because I always thought a 120 is a fully grown man, you know, the muscle mass is there. But honestly, these juniors are just freakish, and it's very exciting to see what they'll be able to do in the next few years, because they'll just keep on acquiring that muscle mass and improving their body composition. So I think the sky's the limit. I'm so excited to be part of such an exciting group of lifters, but I also want to compete. I also want to, see how I stack up against these guys. So I'm excited to be there in Germany and, show the fruits of my labor. But it's very exciting. If there's one thing you can take away from this video also, it's don't be scared to take some time back to figure out why you do this. Because I think a lot of people can let the powerlifting and the competitiveness thing take them to a side that they really shouldn't be on, Like, powerlifting is a source for you to compete. But really, the question should be, do you enjoy what you're doing right now? And if you don't, you need to strip back and really figure out why that is. So I enjoy training, whether or not there was IPF Worlds, whether or not there was a position for podium, I was going to come 10th, doesn't matter. I enjoy my training, and that's the reason why I turn up every single day. And I'll never find myself skipping a training session or sandbagging my externals or my accessory work or things outside of the main lifts, because I enjoy that work, and that's the reason why I do this fundamentally. And I think sometimes you need to strip back powerlifting as it is and figure out if you're a person who enjoys training. And if you enjoy training, make sure the training that you're doing currently is for you and it's training that you enjoy. And if you're in a position where you don't enjoy, sometimes you have to sacrifice, because absolutely, to get to the top, you need to do specific things. But you need to have the fundamentals there that you enjoy it. And if you need to strip back and go ghost mode on social media, absolutely do it, And then strip back the training, enjoy, make sure the training you're doing is for you and compatible with you, and have fun with it. So I'll try and do this very easy format videos, because I've tried to record multiple times and I keep on cancelling every single time. I've tried to record for the long singlet, tried to record training before Ramadan, during Ramadan. I just struggle to sit in front of camera. I'm going to make this simple format where I just talk about training, and we see how things go, and maybe drop a few lessons I've learned in the last few months if they're any importance to anyone. Honestly, I'm never sure if anyone's going to watch this, because I haven't been on YouTube for so long and my social media is just tanking with me going offline. But I'm having fun with training. I'm excited for IPF Worlds. I'm excited for the competition and the future of the sport. And I'm excited to, keep on progressing. So I'll see you guys next week. Same easy format if you're interested in watching and listening to me. And yeah, I'll catch you next week.